It just gets stronger, and it's getting stronger down there in Arkansas. What he's doing right now under John Calipari, he may be one of the, if not best guards that Cal has ever had.
Acuff going to try to go to work on McKinnon. Steps back, three-pointer good from Darius.
Averaging 20 points on 50% shooting, 42% from the three, and it's 6 assists a game, making guys around him better.
Acuff, catch and shoot, and he just buried a three. 30 for Darius Acuff.
And if I'm a GM in this year's draft, don't mess this up like they did with Tyrese Maxey. If I'm looking for a point guard, he's the first point guard. He's the top point guard in this year's draft, and I'm drafting him as the top point guard. He should be a top 10 lottery pick.
He's a beast, kid. I call him a beast. You're a beast, the guy. Really skilled and is wired and driven to get better. And it means something to him.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
All right, so before we talk a little Darius Acuff, as the LSU bus made it out of Polk County. For those that haven't seen, there have been pictures that are real. They're not fabricated. This was not the team. I think the team's back in Baton Rouge, but probably an equipment bus or whatever else staff.
All these schools send bus. Arkansas does the same thing. You send a bus ahead of the team, and you pick them up at the airport. You run them around town. Team flies back. The bus drives home.
I'm going to guess
that happens all the time.
The LSU staff is not too fond of the Arkansas roadway. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Our buddy Zach Hall put this out that apparently their GPS led them on back roads. And I didn't know there was a Rocky, Arkansas, but apparently that's where they got hung up at. And if someone could give us an update in Polk County on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, we would really appreciate it. I'm sure that's the talk of the town here on a Talk of the Town Tuesday, that a lot of Arkansans, they look outside and they just see the LSU bus just sitting on the roadway or whatever.
Well, I don't imagine in Rocky, Arkansas, there were a lot of Arkansans viewing this, because I would imagine Rocky, Arkansas, in Polk County, Highway 7. I can't imagine taking 71 to go home. I mean, he should have asked some questions. I mean, the way you go there, you go 40.
Someone messed up.
I-30. I mean, you don't go that way under the conditions. I don't even think I'd go that way in a bus in normal conditions.
I don't know how you handle road trips to and from. But when I'm going to a particular city, it could be a smaller city or it could be a larger metropolitan area, I will always text the person I'm staying with. I will send them, hey, this is the route that Waze or Google Maps or whatever told me to take. Is this the best way to get there? And they will either tell me yes or no. And if they tell me no, then they send me an alternate route. Hey, this is the best, especially with the weather conditions that we had the last couple of days. Like I saw a postwoman got stuck. My car got stuck. Luckily, I got it out. With a bus like that, first off, that would just be scary driving it. Second, to get stuck, it's one thing to get a car stuck or a truck stuck, but to get a bus stuck, man, that must have taken quite a number of hours to get it unstuck. So I feel for them. Their basketball team stinks. They can't get their bus home, and now they just forever hate the Arkansas roadways.
Yeah, just Rocky, for those that don't know, just a few miles west of Mena. So, I mean, I don't know why in the world GPS would take you that way, but GPS has led me on some weird roadways too over the years.
The craziest
it happens.
The craziest GPS story I have was back sophomore year in 2015, where it took us on the way to Jacksonville to watch Arkansas lose to North Carolina after beating Wofford. It took us on what was going to be the new Birmingham interstate. And all of a sudden, the gravel starts going and whatnot, and we just assume, okay, it's done. Keep in mind, we're not intelligent to begin with. Luckily, we didn't drive off the cliff. We got back on the road and eventually made it to Jacksonville to watch us lose that game in 2015. But that was a situation.
There are a lot of cliffs in Birmingham.
Why are you well, it's like you're building the road, you're building the bridge or whatever, and obviously it drops off if it's not done. That's what, if we would have kept driving, that's what we would have unfortunately fallen to our death. Luckily, I'm alive.
That happened on 49 before it was open.
Someone did that?
An old boy took his girlfriend out there for a little Saturday night ride, and the bridge deck wasn't done, and
that's
down the ravine they went.
Jeez.
Wow.
So
Didn't know that.
That's probably 30. I mean, it had been 30 years ago or whatever, but close to 30 years ago. All right, Talk of the Town Tuesday. That's where we start on a cold, hopefully melting Tuesday here on the Morning Rush. We're glad you're with us, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, X, Facebook, or listening here on good old-fashioned radio. We are glad you're with us. The Hit That Line Now app is also available to listen to all your favorite shows. The Morning Rush, followed by Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach all today. It's brought to you by Taco Bell, whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy. I could go for some Taco Bell tacos right now. Little soft taco action, that'd be good. Taco Bell's got you covered. Also try the $3 Cravings menu. It's all available now at Taco Bell. The Hit That Line Now app, available in the Apple and Google Play stores, brought to you by Taco Bell.
So you heard Kendrick Perkins there, who is one of my least favorite Oklahoma City Thunder players of all time. If we had a better center, we would have won the championship back in 2012. But he did make a good point about Darius Acup. Now think about the guards Callis Coach of the Years. Got a couple of them that are starting in the All-Star game. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, there's Jamal Murray. You got one on staff and Tyler Ulis. The list goes on and on. D. Rose, who just got his jersey retired for the Chicago Bulls. And so he thinks that. Arkansas and Darius, I should say, I mean, there's a chance he could be the highest player ever drafted, depending on how things shake out. That would be Sidney Moncrief back in 1979 by the Milwaukee Bucks. But not just Darius, this freshman class in basketball this year, like I know it's taken Nate Ament a little bit longer. He had a great game in Tuscaloosa this past weekend for Tennessee. But when you think about DeBonza, the BYU kid, and he's taking on Darren Peterson this Saturday in Lawrence. You got Flemings, who you've seen firsthand, Boozer, who you've seen firsthand, Darius, of course. I haven't watched much of Caleb Wilson at North Carolina. Then you've also got Peterson and again as well. I mean, this freshman class is unbelievable. You've got 6 bona fide guys that came into college basketball and are having their way with kids 4 years older than them.
Yeah. I was looking at some play. I should have screen grabbed. I was looking at my phone here to see if I'd taken a screenshot of it, and I didn't. But I saw a list of player rankings for college basketball this year, just looking at that last night. And this wasn't necessarily a projection of draft, but it had Darius as the number 10 player in there. And it was amazing the players that were ahead of him that you've played and you've seen this year. You know, you think about it, and we're going to talk about some net rankings and where Arkansas's at and some other teams, but, you know, Carlos Boozer, Toppin, you know, both of the, was it Anderson's the other guy at Texas Tech. I mean, going through the list of players, you got LeBaron Philon, I think was at 8, but Darius was at 10 on this list. Yeah, so I mean, the players that were on this, is, you know, does he go 3rd, 4th, or 5th in the draft? I don't know about that, but you know, this is a guy that's thought of as a top 10 player in the sport this year.
When you play all the Elite 8 teams from last season, and you have a setup where that was what it is for I think it was first time in college basketball history that's happened. Some of those players are gone. Other like Alabama lost Sears and Nelson, but they've got a lot of guys like you alluded to with Toppin and Anderson that are back. So not only are you playing great teams, and you play great teams in non-conference, you're playing great teams in SEC play.
Playing great players.
But you're playing great players individually. And Darius
100%.
He's not the best of the bunch. He's just not. Like he's not better than Boozer. He's not better than Toppin. He might be a better NBA prospect. Anderson's a hell of a player too. I watched him have an outstanding game. Kingston Flemings had 40+ in 2 consecutive games this past week. But it's just been fun.
But not all those guys are point guards either.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, it's basically him and Kingston Flemings for who's going to be an All-American. They might toss out Peterson because he hasn't played the majority of games this year for the Jayhawks. But it's freshmen. Sometimes you have these freshman classes that just aren't good. This is not one of those years.
Yeah, my understanding from Kansas is they just can't get him to play. You know, his agent's in his ear.
I thought he was hurt.
Well, that's not what I was told by some coaches that have talked to some people on staff that they just can't get him to go. His agent's got him shut down, and there's nothing that Bill Self and their crew can do about it. So I mean, that's the word. I mean that's where the sport's coming. That's the 2 edges of the sword you got when you have a star like that, who's a surefire NBA prospect. So you know, hey, let's be honest. We've seen a little bit of that at Arkansas in years past. You know,
it's been nicked up a little bit, but he's fought through it. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, give our guys credit for being out there and playing. So I mean, there's other schools struggling with some of that where superstars are listening to their agent more than their coach.
Yeah, Hogwild texting in Nick Smith, as is Lee in Springdale. I think that's where a lot of people go to.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like the dynamic of him and AB on the same team. Nick goes, I think, 30th to the Hornets, and AB goes 6th to the Magic. I think I had that draft pick right. And I watched AB get banged up throughout the season. I don't know what Nick was dealing with relative to Anthony Black, but I saw Anthony Black play every game, every minute, and it just wasn't that comparison, I think, kind of jaded some people with the whole Nick Smith experience. All right, that is kind of where we're starting this morning with freshmen. You were reading a piece by Christina Long and if I could say it, Christina Long and Whole Hog Sports. Bruce Stan Pradco Fishing's going to get in here as well. We're going to have to kind of make this a little short. We'll come back to it at some point, but it involves multiple discussions about money.
Show me the money. But still got it. Sherry, does that make you feel good just to say that? Say it with me one time, Sherry. Show you the money. Oh, no, you can do better than that, Jerry. I want you to say it with meaning, brother. Hey, I got Bob Sugar on the other line. I better hear you say it. Yeah, no. Show you the money. Show you. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah. Just got louder. Show me the money. That's it, brother, but you got to yell at. Show me the money. I need to feel you, Jerry. Show me the money. Jerry, you better yell. Show me the money.
It's one of the most iconic scenes in movie history, I feel like. Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good movie. I don't know if I got to watch it every time it's on, but Arkansas has shown the university a little bit of money over the years, given some money back. And when you look at the final fiscal report from the year 2025 that ended in June, because that's the fiscal year for Arkansas, it runs July to the end of June. Arkansas had a reported net revenue of $11.78 million in the report to the NCAA. Now, that's a little bit deceptive, and I think if you looked across the SEC, you're going to see the same thing because the Southeastern Conference gave a one-time bonus distribution of over $5 million. So half of that, 11.78, went came from the conference that was not planned on nor budgeted for. Arkansas also gave nearly $5 million back to the university, which I hope that's an area where the legislature, the trustees, somebody can give some relief to the athletic department.
Well,
but it was $4.86 million that was given in the previous fiscal year back to the school. And the athletic department needs that money.
Unless I read it wrong, they're not doing that in 26 and 27.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that becomes permanent. They did give some relief on that during the COVID period, but that is where we're at. I also found in this article, and we can get into more details, interesting that gymnastics is outpacing women's basketball by a bunch. Softball's right on its heels, and I know women's basketball hasn't done well for some time, but you look at how other sports are outpacing. Women's basketball should draw more than $200 and some odd $1,000 in revenue. Gymnastics exceeds it. Softball nearly exceeding it. Surprised that baseball lost $3 million. A little bit surprised by that. But also surprised to see that profits were down for men's basketball, even though the reseeding plan created nearly a one-time total of $19 million from the way I read it in revenues, but $10.8 million in reoccurring reseeding revenue.
But from what I read, it looked like the Razorback Foundation was more flush with cash than it usually is. So does that money not go towards the Razorback Foundation? Because she details, Christina did again. If you haven't read it, it's really good. She details how much more the Razorback.
The giving is one thing. Ticket prices and ticket revenue goes to the athletic department. My point is the expenses are 30% higher, roughly, for men's basketball, and we know where some of that. But a big chunk of it, in percentage at least, was the increase in recruiting expenses, and what they're spending to recruit went up over double. But in the end, your profits for men's basketball, which if football and men's basketball don't carry the department, you're in a lot of trouble. Because, for instance, It cost over $1 million to run the women's tennis program. You know what the revenue was for women's tennis?
Say like 100,000.
$82.
That's all it was.
$82.
Yikes.
Men's golf over $1 million, but it brought in $165. I mean, you got sports that just aren't going to sell tickets.
Yeah,
I get it, but so point is, if football and men's basketball don't do well, it really puts you in a crunch in some of these other places that generate no revenue at all. And you that's the job that turns hair gray for a guy like Hunter Yurachek. He's trying to balance all this.
Well, we'll come back to that because I know people want to also touch on the different levels of donations that have gone up for season tickets within Razorback football. So we'll do that throughout the morning here on a Talk of the Town Tuesday. But we bring in our buddy Bruce Stand of Pradco Fishing. Wells Lake is where Bruce was on Saturday. Caught himself a little bit with the Bobby Garland baby shad. Bruce, that's a great picture you sent us, man. It looked like you were a little cold, but persevered through it regardless.
Well, this time of year, when you see those cold snaps coming in, you better get down there the first day because it was frozen solid the next day, and obviously that ice is continuing to build. But, it looks like one of those northern lakes right now. It's got a couple inches of ice all the way across. It's got some sleet on top of it. Real pretty to look at, but kind of useless right now. Can't catch any fish there.
Yeah. All right, we'll come back to fishing, maybe what you can do right now. I have seen some great pictures from the White River, but we'll get to that. But time now to get to our Pradco Pyramid of Power.
LearnNet.com, LearnNet.com, LearnNet.com. There you go.
Chrome blackback, Chrome blackback, Chrome blackback.
Who are the best basketball teams in the SEC? Let's find out.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
This is the Pradco Pyramid of Power.
Had a little hand-wringing over who to put at the top. I mean, it took me a little time to write down the name Texas A&M, who is atop the conference at 6-1 and 16-4. There's a lot of holes in the argument for the Aggies right now, but regardless, they are in the lead in the SEC. I've got them number one. They beat Mississippi State and South Carolina. We're going to find out if they're a Vanderbilt 2.0 when their schedule strengthens up, but right now, with Florida losing this past weekend, Arkansas's a game back in the standings. Maybe I'm wilting here, but I'm putting A&M at the top.
You're wilting, man.
Okay.
I went with the eye test. When I saw Arkansas absolutely dominate Vanderbilt, the way A-Cuff's playing, the way Cal's got the starting lineup retooled, I just said, that looks like the best team in the SEC, the team that looks like they could make a deep run. So I got Arkansas 15-5, 5-2. Great week. Sweat Vandy and LSU at home. They're on the road at frozen Norman, Oklahoma tonight. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and from an eye test standpoint, Arkansas is always going to be in the conversation. We'll see if they can take their game on the road. I still think Florida. We're going to go eye test. I know Florida lost versus a talented Auburn team that beat Arkansas as well. I got Florida number 2. They're 14-6, 5-2 in the league. Wins over LSU and a loss to Auburn this week at South Carolina. Probably a bad time to catch South Carolina. And one of the few Saturday buys. Florida's off this Saturday. I got Florida number 2.
Well, my problem is I'm very biased. I don't like any Florida in any eye test. So I got Texas A&M number 2.
All right.
They have had a weak schedule. They only got one game this week at Georgia, so we'll see if Georgia shows up like they did against Arkansas a few weeks ago.
All right, number 3, I got the Razorbacks. They beat down Vandy, who's losing some steam, even though they picked up a good bounce-back win on Saturday. Razorbacks got OU, as you mentioned, tonight. Team flew over yesterday. They'll play tonight at 6 o'clock against OU. We'll have it here on ESPN Arkansas. And then Kentucky. Uptick Kentucky on Saturday. I got the Razorbacks, 16th ranked in the coaches poll. They're my third team.
Floyd Noble, by the way, worst arena in the SEC,
and it's not close.
It's an embarrassment.
It's not close. It's worse than the Hump
They ain't
Dome.
changed in 50 years. It's terrible. Florida, I got them at number 3. We got the same top 3, just different order. They had a 16-game home winning streak snapped by unranked Auburn. And they'll get well against South Carolina on Wednesday.
All right, let's see if we can agree. Got Georgia at number 4. They won at Missouri and lost to Texas. Tennessee and A&M are their opponents this week.
Yeah, I kind of we're different again. I went Vanderbilt.
Okay.
They stopped a 3-game losing streak by beating Mississippi State by 32 in Starkville. And like you said, they got Kentucky tonight, so we'll see how that goes.
All right, I got Kentucky at number 5. They got Vandy this week, like you just mentioned. Razorbacks on Saturday. You got the Wildcats at 5?
I do. They won 5 straight SEC games. Again, I can't stand them, but they did beat Texas and Ole Miss last week. We're going to find out what they're all about this week. They got Vandy and Arkansas.
All right, I got Vandy at 6, so I'm guessing you have Georgia at 6?
I got Georgia at 6. You know, I do remember how good they looked against Arkansas, but they did drop a game last week.
All right, that's our Pradco Pyramid of Power. We don't agree on the top. We agree on the top 3, just different order. I got A&M, Florida, Arkansas, then Georgia, Kentucky, Vandy. We pretty much have the same 6. Just got them in a different order. All right, Bruce, real quick, is it time to – what do you do on a day like today? Just go through the tackle box, or do you make your way to the White River? What's the best thing to do?
Well, if we'd have planned this right, Tommy, we'd have gone to Gaston and called our buddy Donald Craner, and he'd have come pick us up. We'd be catching a bunch of big brown trout. He's got a group from San Diego in, and they're crushing them. So we messed up by not planning that correctly. But if you can get to the White River – you can catch some big browns, throw a Smithwick Rogue, throw a Booyah Flashpoint jerkbait. The bead pattern's working. A lot of good things happening below Bull Shoals right now.
All right, go to Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, and LureNet.com if you're trapped inside right now and find all your favorite stuff. Bruce, stay warm, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
All right, see y'all.
All right, that's our Pradco Pyramid of Power every Tuesday right here on the Morning Rush.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Hey, this is Hunter Yurtek, Director of Athletics at the University of Arkansas, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
When you need it most.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Well, Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
And I said, do you understand I know how good you are? I know. But I want you to be the best player in the country.
Darius Acuff wins SEC Freshman of the Week for a 6th time this season. Guys like Bradley Beal, Brandon Miller, some really outstanding players over the years. No player's ever won 7th. He's got 6 more opportunities. I mean, I would think that that's just inevitable. It's a sure thing, right? That he's going to be the first player ever to be SEC Freshman of the Week.
I mean, but let's not confuse SEC Freshman of the Week with the Naismith Award. I mean, it's noteworthy, but let's not confuse this with the Heisman Trophy either. I mean, it's a good honor, but at the end of the day, if that's the greatest thing that happens to Darius Acuff, then things turn terribly south. So, I mean, maybe I'm fatigued with it a little bit, but we can keep coming up with awards. Freshman of the Week's great, but in the end, he's beyond a freshman in my mind at this point.
But he's still, in my mind, and while you're right in playing experience, the kid's still 18. Were you more mature at 18?
I get it, but you know, let's move past this. I mean, obviously we've figured out a way to dominate it. Let's set our sights a little bit higher. I mean, let's not confuse Freshman of the Week with, you know.
We're just doing. I mean, we got a month. That's fine. We got a month and a half till March. What do you want to talk about prior to?
Well, I don't know. Let's talk about the damn team and how great they're playing. Let's talk about the fact that when you look at the SEC standings, they're a game out. Mm-hmm. I mean, Acuff's a great player. We know that.
Top team.
He's beyond Freshman of the Week. What I'm talking about is player of the week.
Mm-hmm.
He should be player of the week in the SEC.
Top 15 right now. Arkansas checks in as the number 1 team in the SEC.
I mean, if you were telling me he was the player of the week 7 weeks in a row, that'd be one thing. But I mean, we're casting in a pretty small pond here. So,
okay, I won't mention it for
no, mention it. It's fine. I think it's I think we're setting our this player's so far beyond just freshman of the week. He's far greater than that award.
I'll tell you what, if he has another outstanding week against two.
Well, tell me why, and I don't know. Who was the SEC player of the week?
Nate Ament and Keyshawn Hall, those co-players of the week.
How could they, I mean...
Ament had 29 on the road in Tuscaloosa, and Hall beat Florida. I mean, they had bigger marquee games because they were on the road. They beat Florida at home, which
they just hate Arkansas.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. This is one of the few
times... The league hates Arkansas.
It's one of the few times I actually felt validated. It's like, okay, they probably deserved it over the Arkansas game.
But he has 31. Again, I guess because it's LSU, but still, I mean, 31 in that performance is pretty entertaining.
All right, I will leave the freshman of the week awards out of the Hall.
We keep acting like, my God, he just won, the MVP, the Player of the Year award. It's freshman Player of the Week. So maybe I'm just wore out on it after 7 weeks in a row.
I think it's, and he's got 6 of them, so I think it's just fatigue on your part. It's the same fatigue I had with Alabama, same fatigue I had with any other dominant. You just get, even though it's like in the midst of whatever's happening.
To me, to lump him in with the rest of the freshmen's limiting how great he is.
Okay. Arkansas plays Oklahoma tonight, 6 o'clock, 5:30. Chuck and Z on ESPN. We'll have it right here for you on ESPN Arkansas. Sooners have lost 6 straight. They are doing something kind of cool tonight. I don't know if you've seen this. So Oklahoma is having a fan night of sorts. Free admission, free pizza for students, $2 beer, soda, and popcorn. The campuses are only 240 miles apart. But yeah, this is what Oklahoma's trying to do to drum up some attendance tonight.
Sad. I mean, is this weather? Hang on, let me ask a question before I label it sad. Is this attendance promotion driven by weather, or is this something they've had planned all along?
I think it's both. The team sucks and it's cold. Like Z did this video yesterday, and I mean they cleared the runway.
Both. They've either been planning this for a month or they've planning it for 3 days. I don't know which, but
what do you think it is?
Well, I think Arkansas had no trouble getting fans there when the weather was really bad Saturday, so I think it's kind of sad.
Because the team's good. People care about Arkansas basketball. Oklahoma basketball, you've had Trae Young, you've had the Griffins, but it's not tradition-rich, I would say, relative to their softball program, their football program, and some of the other things they've established.
All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It's brought to you by the Inn at the Mill, the place we stay when we're in Northwest Arkansas, and it'd be the place I'd stay if you get snowed in or the roads weren't good enough to get to where your destination's at. The Inn at the Mill is always the spot that I choose and for my friends and family, because you're going to get convenient, oversized rooms, great location, and a great breakfast to start the day. 479-443-1800. 443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com.
Speaking of those roads, I was having some issues with my tires yesterday. I know one guy that could help resolve that. It's our buddy David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi, also Rath Auto Resources. David, I know tires big thing for people right now when it comes to these roadways and making sure you're safe and making sure there's still some tread on them.
Absolutely. I mean, we were talking about that. I guess it was last week we were talking about it. I mean, all the all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, locking differentials, everything in the world only goes so far if your rubber's no good. So both our shops, both Meineke Car Care Centers in Fort Smith and up here in Springdale, we're open today. We're working on clearing all the snow and everything right now. So anybody that's needing a little bit of, whether it's tires, brakes, anything, I mean, you want to make sure your vehicle's ready for all this stuff. It's going to be a little bit till the back roads and everything are totally clear. So, and we could have more of this before the winter's over. So it'd be a great idea to get in and get that taken care of before more of it hits.
Or come check out those Outlanders, which I heard even have more incentives now.
Man, I'm excited about that. I think they heard us complaining about we had to be shut down for a few days and trying to have a big finish on our months. They gave us a little boost. We've got 0% for 72 months now on those remaining 25 Outlanders. So anybody that's been kind of thinking about it, like I said, we're clearing a lot right now, so come on out, check them out. Save you a lot of money.
That's David Rath, Mitsubishi. David, be safe out there because I know you're still working.
Man, you guys too. Be careful.
All right. When we return, we've got our Morning Rush Daily Question. We're going to jump back into Christina Lawn's piece in Whole Hog Sports, get into that more detail. I know some people are frustrated. There's been ups and donations for basketball and baseball, and now back in football. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Hey, Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, Sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh. This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
InstaWeb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
You need length and girth in this league. Length and girth.
This is the Morning Rush.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
2026 is looking bright at Rath Auto Resources. Celebrate by driving away in one of our road-ready certified pre-owned cars, reconditioned and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our award-winning customer service, non-commissioned sales team, and painless pricing, we take the hassle out of the car buying experience, so you can focus on more important things, like that new gym membership, quitting smoking, or that other thing. Ring in the new year with a new ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
It's tax season and those checks are coming, so put that refund to work and come see Cody and the gang at Advanced Mechanical Performance in Fort Smith. Need repair or service on your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all. Plus, they've got you covered on power sports parts and accessories too. Call 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Whether you're fishing for coldwater bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This Rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Time for the Carpat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
Arkansas and Oklahoma tonight at 6 o'clock in Norman, Oklahoma. Arkansas is in the net ranking this morning, number 20. OU is 75th, so this actually qualifies, since it's a road game, as a quad one opportunity for the Razorbacks. Oklahoma's 1-6 in league play. The Razorbacks are 5-2. Is this game in the conversation of can't lose? It's clearly not a must win, but is this a can't lose game tonight on the road in Norman?
No, because you got so many games the rest of the way that are quad one opportunities or quad two at the very least. I mean,
OU's bottom 4 in the SEC in net ranking.
It stains you, but it's, again, they're bottom 4, and where are they at again? 75. So it's not like they're 150 or 280. That shows you the quality. Is the SEC as good as it was last year? No. It's a game you don't want to lose. I have a hard time believing that Arkansas is going to play a really good game tonight because of the game that awaits them on Saturday in Bud Walton Arena. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they pound the Sooners. I hope it's a blowout and you move on to business as usual. I just think that you got an Oklahoma team that lost in heartbreaking fashion on the road in Columbia. You've got a team that has lost 6 games. You got an Arkansas team that, to be honest, still doesn't know how to play defense. Yeah, but maybe won to LSU. Like, you won the game because of heroics from Darius Acuff and a big 3 from Trevin Brazil and some other statistics that went your way. But they're still not a great defensive team. And unfortunately, you could have a game tonight where that showcases itself against the Sooners.
I'm going to say that it is a can't lose game tonight because I don't think you want to have all the pressure on Saturday to avoid an 0-2 week. 0-2 weeks are killers in this league because you go from the conversation of being a game out and hoping, hey, whoever A&M's playing, which they're off midweek, but they play at Georgia on Saturday. I mean, you don't want to go from hoping you get some help from elsewhere just to stay in the conversation because right now Arkansas is within a game of the lead, an 0-2 week, and you fade fast. Ask Alabama. Ask Vanderbilt. I mean, you fade fast in this league with an 0-2 week, and that's, a couple losses in a row, and it doesn't have to be necessarily the same week, but, lose 2 out of 3, and next thing you know, you're kind of out of the conversation.
Well,
and you want to stay in that top 4 situation in this league because of, Saturday marks the halfway point.
Mm-hmm. And you think
pretty soon we're jockeying, Ty, for conference seeding and in conference tournament, and we're five weeks after this week from the end of the regular season.
Yeah, you want that double bye in Nashville for the SEC tournament. You also don't want Kentucky to have an edge on you head-to-head where if it comes down to you being a top 4 seed and the only game that is decided it is the loss to the Wildcats, that kicks you out of that Friday appearance, or just anything overall. And Kentucky, they win tonight. They've won 5 straight heading in your building.
Well, if they win tonight, they're 6-2. If Arkansas wins tonight, they're 6-2. Someone's going to pick up their 3rd loss on Saturday, and you look at where 3 losses put you right on the cusp. So that my point is, you don't want to lose tonight and have your 3rd loss. And a real possibility, even though you're at home, of getting a fourth one on Saturday. So, 4 losses in this league, and you're out of the top 7 or 8 in the league standings at that point.
Just like that. Go ahead, Christian.
I was just going to say this Kentucky matchup is, they want to beat us really bad, and you could argue that it's both of our Super Bowls, I guess, in a way. I feel like they've got more to prove. I think they're still – I don't think they're fully bought in on their team. I know they're playing really well, but a lot of their early season woes, I'm not totally sure that won't come back to bite them again.
Be nice if it did. I think for Arkansas, you have a chance to, again, be 7-2, either have a share of first place, or if you ended up winning this game tonight and then on Saturday, or be at least in the tie for the SEC, and again, set yourself up, which is going to be a tougher back end of your schedule this season, particularly in that kind of end of February, early March setup.
All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question, and it is brought to you by Cart Path Social.
Number one place for indoor golf. I know that you can't. Tommy was discussing a little bit earlier before the show. You see those golf courses, you're like, man, I want to go play. Well, you can't. Well, you can still play golf at Cart Path Social at over one of 1,000 different golf courses. Go to cartpathsocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Path Social. March Madness watch party is going to be here before you know it. They've got their their Masters Invitational coming up as well in March. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, the number one place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas. My buddies Nate Garhan and Christian Olson at Cart Path Social. Hog Wild texting in, this Arkansas team plays up and down to the level of competition.
1,000%
we
right.
see that LSU, and a lot of times for great teams, it's hard to fully focus, fully lock in against a team that that you can give an 80%, 75% performance and still win. Maybe that's what happened on Saturday against LSU, but I see a similar type of circumstance that we saw on Saturday tonight in Norman.
The formula on the road, I think, is just give the ball to Acuff, especially down the stretch. We saw it work against Ole Miss. I think you're going to need a pretty good performance from him tonight against Oklahoma, at Oklahoma.
When does Brazil break back out? He had offensively, at least points-wise. I think he's been a factor in these games, but, nice. You need a game where he gets 20 points again, 17, 20, 18, 18, somewhere in that neighborhood. It's been a while, and obviously the 3 the other night against LSU was large in determining the outcome there at the end, but offensively, he hasn't had a great impact in a few games now.
I know that when someone does, like Malik and Darius kind of shouldered the load last week, they had 46, I think, between the two of them, or 47. So when you have your 2 freshmen taking the majority of shots, the other guys either have to have a really efficient game and make the shots in the few they're taking, or they've got to take more. So what do you, like, for him or Carter or anyone, because people have said, well, Carter's having a down year, TB's not showing up this game or whatnot. If you're not taking the shots...
He's in love with the 3 at times, and he needs to just go to the hole.
He doesn't have a back-to-the-basket game, and he's 6'10",
and he's drive to the hole,
But I would need, he's at best when he gets closed out and then he goes to the hole.
Well, he's
at
best in transition. But
that too,
even Saturday against LSU, though, he had, twice? I think he missed a dunk in transition, or tried to stop and pull up short and lay it up, and it rolled off. I think there was 2 occasions that occurred, and there's 4 points he could have found for his game. So he his strengths transition, obviously, highlight dunks, but I'd like to see him, drive the lane a little more and offensive rebound putbacks too.
Pringle or Ewan, I'd like to see them kind of start to assert themselves down low.
Well, Pringle went 2 for 10 on Saturday from the free throw line, which helped you shoot 39%. I know Cal wasn't happy.
The foul line. How do you shoot 30% from the foul? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that was a dismal performance, and they've been actually pretty good from the free throw line this year. But that if Nick's in the game, you've got to knock down your free throws because he's going to get fouled, and he's got to make those in those type of situations.
Yeah. Brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group. Maybe your job's going to be put on hold a little bit because of the weather. Everyone else's is. APAC and Standard Materials Group always working through the logistics to make sure that, hey, when it's time for your ready mix and it's going to warm up a little bit more to get the asphalt going again, but maybe just sand, gravel, rock materials that you need for the job site. They are there for you. They own their quarries, so they can get you the best materials and get it to you on time and ready to roll for your project when things resume here around the region. 479-587-3300 is their number. 587-3300 for APAC and Standard Materials Group.
We can talk with Tom Murphy a little more about this coming up, this article in Whole Hog Sports, which really details the Razorback Foundation and in addition to the athletics report for the University of Arkansas and whatnot. One of the things you noticed that stood out is the smaller amount of revenue gain versus loss and expenses that the basketball team had. You would have thought they're spending more money recruiting and various other things. I also thought it was funny. You're right. Like, football team made $30 million. And this is not the 2-10 season you just had. This is the 2024 season when you went 6-6 at home. 6-6 regular season. You won the bowl game in Memphis. I am curious when we get these numbers next year what the difference, if at all, will look like. What else? You're the money guy. What else stood out to you in this?
Well, I mean, it reaffirms what we knew. Some of these sports that you're sinking high six figures, around $1 million into, that bring in tens of dollars, literally. I mean, it may, from a bit, my mind just goes sideways on that, because from a business standpoint, that would be a division of your company you would cut. And that's just not how college athletics work. Mm-hmm. That's why you have to make $30+ million. And really, that number's light in football. That number probably needs to be $40+ million to support all of these other things that have zero chance of being a winner. That's the pressure that football and men's basketball are under. The other thing that stood out, as successful as baseball is, as much expansion as you've had, still had about a $3 million fiscal loss at the end of what would have been the end of their 25 season, I guess, because it fiscal year ends in June. So I thought baseball would be a little closer to break even, because it has been in the past. It's even made a small profit at times.
I'm trying to think what happened that year, because last year they go to the College World Series. I can't even remember what happened. Is that
It must be the expenses of maybe the post. I'm not sure. I mean, you'd have to have someone that really digs into the P&Ls and understands what were the costs. You got more cost with operating the facilities. You got more cost with your coaches these days, and I don't know if it's a cost of how NIL and the recruiting process with NIL works. I'm not sure. I mean, someone that's got their finger on the pulse of the numbers could tell you. But baseball has been a break-even sport in the past. A little surprised to see they spent not quite $10 million, it's $9 million, and brought in 6 point something, best I remember from reading it. So, I mean, that doesn't concern me, but it just surprised me. So, a little bit. So, those are some of the things that stood out. So, we'll talk to Tom about it coming up in a minute. Hey, Joe's Grill and Cantina back open today. Going to have limited hours due to the weather and the road conditions. Going to be open as normal at 10:45 for a Taco Tuesday. Then they're going to close at 6 p.m. $1 tacos all day today if you're able to get out, have some lunch. And, hey, support your local restaurants. Joe's is one of those local-owned, local restaurants with employees that depend on your continual support. Get out to Joe's today and support them for $1 tacos today at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Open for lunch at 10:45. We'll be there till 6 o'clock tonight. That's Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th Street across from Harps. Seriously, eat local as much as you can the next week or two. They need your help.
Greg wants to know, did you ever find a sled?
No.
Did you look?
No.
Okay. Hour 2 coming up next.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh. This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. You know, a famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Why?
Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be called bagels.
Dad, just please stop.
Anyway, the Stadium Shop on Razorback has everything you could want. Tees, hoodies, puffer vests, polos from Nike, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, Champion, and many more.
Plus, we have stuff for your fan cave and those Razorback golfers out there.
So next time you're in Fayetteville, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or you can shop us on that Googleator, Facegram, Instagram,
Dad, just stop
InstaWeb.
before you hurt yourself. He's talking about our website, which is shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
The Down Payment Assistance Program, available now at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Most of the lot qualifies for this special program that helps buyers with their down payment when they buy now.
Yes, Tommy, and here's the big deal is everyone qualifies for this down payment assistance program. So even if you've got bad credit and you're thinking, that's not going to work for me, you're wrong. Every single customer that comes in here qualifies for this down payment assistance program that's going on at Harry Robinson Salisal Ford. Right now really is the time to buy. Interest rates have just went down again. Your good credit is no longer paying that 8-9% interest. And Ford is still offering right now, they've got as low as 1.9% financing. So come and see us, Harry Robinson Salisal Ford. Let us make you a deal. Let us earn your business.
This is a special one-time program at Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, the down payment assistance program. Now through the end of the month, Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off 540 in Salisal.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see sunny skies. Temperatures should warm up in the middle to upper 30s. Partly cloudy skies. Another very cold one tonight. We drop down close to 10. Wednesday, back to sunshine, a high into the upper 30s. And Thursday, upper 30s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936.
KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush.
But the guy that sticks out to me the most in this top 5 is Darius A. Cup Jr., right? I call him Mr. Wi-Fi. Because when he's around, your signal, it just gets stronger. And it's getting stronger down there in Arkansas. What he's doing right now under John Calipari, he may be one of the, if not best guards that Cal has ever had.
Acuff going to try to go to work on McKinnon. Steps back, three-pointer good from Darius.
Averaging 20 points on 50% shooting, 42% from the three, and this is 6 assists a game, making guys around him better.
Acuff, catch and shoot, and he just buried a 3-30 for Darius Acuff.
And if I'm a GM in this year's draft, don't mess this up like they did with Tyrese Maxey. If I'm looking for a point guard, he's the first point guard. He's the top point guard in this year's draft, and I'm drafting him as the top point guard. He should be a top 10 lottery pick.
He's a beast, kid. I call him a beast. You're a beast the guy. Really skilled and is wired and driven to get better. And it means something to him.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Those are some traits that me and Darius share, just wired to get better every single day.
Well,
you
got a lot more room to get better than he does.
Yeah, he's
closer to his ceiling, which I don't think he's close to, but
he's 12
I think
years
you're closer to the floor.
One thing we didn't mention in hour number 1, you heard Kendrick Perkins there talking about Darius Acuff. That's high praise for John Calipari, who's coached some really good players over the years. He's urging NBA GMs not to overlook him, which I don't think anyone is. The Charles Bediako stuff, did you see that? The latest on that?
Well, I saw where Perkins... I read something and watched a video on social media. So you tell me, I mean, you can't hardly trust a lot of this stuff anymore, but where Perkins and was talking about Cal, and he even dropped an F-bomb in the conversation trying to explain all this. And so, I mean, fill in the cracks for me, but I know that Perkins had some strong words about Arkansas's recruiting and the money they spend and Cal's ability to go get players.
I
pretty well right on that.
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
I was talking about the Charles Bediako, like the Alabama, the update there.
No, I mean, I know there was a 10-day temporary restraining order, and the judge's order said that they couldn't be punished by the NCAA for playing him. But it'd be interesting to see. What is the latest after the game on Saturday?
So he participates. If you haven't been following the story, you got this guy that used to play for Alabama a couple seasons that's now back for the Crimson Tide after signing an NBA contract.
Yeah. Never played an NBA game, was in the G League.
Yes. And that temporary restraining order, like you referred to, has been extended 10 more days because the NCAA council couldn't be here today in Tuscaloosa. So he's getting
because of weather.
I would assume so. That's my guess. But they also NCAA filed a motion. The Roberts guy, the Honorable Judge Roberts, who's not jaded whatsoever, the fact that he's donated $150,000 plus to the school. They've asked him.
Judges. I mean, I knew judges made a good living, but not enough to just give $150,000 to the school.
Probably over life. I mean, it's not one time. It's probably over a lifetime.
It's still a lot of money.
if I had to guess.
The judges do okay, but they're not making millions.
Well, they've asked him to recuse himself since he's an Alabama donor.
When he should.
Which I thought the whole idea behind a judge was fairness and equity and not to be biased in one way or another on a decision. You're not making the decision. A lot of times the jury is, but that's what I thought a judge was
it's
supposed
idealistic, but I mean, if you just watch our world and what goes on out there in activist judges, that's not the way it is. Normally, it doesn't cross over into sports. It's in other things, but nonetheless, listening to both sides of it and just thinking it through and kind of forming your own opinion. I mean, you can get mad at Nate Oates, but I thought he did a good job. They played some of this on SEC Now Saturday. Did a good job of hitting all the points. This is a guy that's still, based on 5 years to play 4, still has time to play. Based on the idea that, hey, why is it a professional can come from Europe and be eligible to play? I thought he did a good job of laying out the cases to why this should be considered. Because why can professionals come from other parts of the world, but if they went to the NBA and never actually played in a game, they're out? So, I mean, some of Nate Oates' talking points do make a lot of sense. I don't know that it's going to hold water in the end when the NCAA comes to some kind of determination, but he did a really good job of making his case Saturday after the game.
And I'm forgetting the player. Jeff Goodman was making the case for Nate Oates and agreeing with him to a certain degree on Field of 68, saying that exact thing. There's a 22-year-old kid whose name I'm forgetting that's having a really good season in college basketball, played professionally like you alluded to. And so that in my head, I was like, okay.
What's the difference?
Yeah, that actually makes sense. If you're going to disallow the college kids who go and don't make it in the NBA and want to come back, then what's the difference for a kid playing professionally overseas, like you're alluding to? I don't, in my mind, and again, I haven't thought about this a ton, but in my mind, I was like, that kind of makes sense.
Pardon me for not knowing. Was Bediako drafted, or was he
I don't think, Christian, you double check on that. I don't think he was drafted.
It was I can't remember.
He averaged like 6 and 5, Tommy.
I mean, obviously he never made an NBA roster. He was a G League guy, but we talk about, and here's the reason I bring that up. We talk about players that put their name in the draft and then don't get drafted, and do we give them the ability to come back? That's been a discussion in multiple sports.
Undrafted.
Undrafted.
Thanks,
so there's another, I guess, check mark in the case of whether or not he should get eligibility.
You had that because remember with Isaiah Joe, there was the time you can put yourself in the NBA, then you can pull yourself out, and then you have time to put yourself back in from a draft evaluation process. And there's been other players. That's just the one that's close to home and I think about. So that is still allowed. But I would think like if a kid thinks he's going to go drafted and he doesn't, like, why would you not if the whole here's the thing on this and
seems like that and again I should have researched this, but seems like we allow that in baseball. I may be wrong on that, but it seems like where you can enter the draft and you go undrafted. I mean, I know we do because we let high school kids get drafted and then make a decision on whether or not they can come to college. So we do this in other sports, and then also think you want to trash Nate Oates because we don't like him. I agree, he's a scumbag, but
he's the most hated coach right now in the SEC for Razorback Vantage Point.
Do you want to close this avenue off for your future?
That's what.
Do you want to close this down to where if Arkansas was in the situation where there was a player who found themselves in the same situation, and you could bring him back to Arkansas, you want to close that lane down? Because Arkansas is going to be in a more potential to have this happen to them moving forward, at least for this window with Cal here. So think real hard about your opinion unless you're just willing to be one of these guys that says one thing one day and another thing the other based on whether it's your team or not.
Cliff said he could bring back Scotty Thurman. He was undrafted. I don't think so. But if Cal is unwilling to go that route, then it doesn't help you. And at least from the
Cal's not going to be the coach forever.
I hope he is.
Oh, wait, yeah, but I mean, Father Time always wins. But my point is, Arkansas is going to be in a situation that they're going to be on the right side of this in an ability to get a player down the road, more so than maybe half of this league that may not have this situation. So careful before you just say, by God, this is wrong, shouldn't happen. You might want it to happen here someday. It could be in the near future.
Listen, I always take the stance of if it helps Arkansas, let's utilize it. And I think that you could have a situation like you're referring to could help Arkansas.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna be a little more reserved and to say this is a horrible idea. But it needs to be blank for the sport. So hey, I don't know. Probably haven't been doing a lot of training down in Oakland, but with the weather, I'm sure their track, they've been working that and getting that ready. Hopefully we're going to be racing this weekend as they get back to the Classic season that's scheduled to begin this Friday, January the 30th. If you haven't downloaded the Oakland Anywhere app, be sure and do that now. You can bet at bet.oakland.com. You can download, if you're an iPhone or iPad user, the Oakland Anywhere app in the Apple App Store. Android users, go to that website I just said, bet.oakland.com, and save it to your home screen. New members earn up to $200 sign-up bonus right now. Use the promo code RUSH26 to save that right now. That's RUSH26. Exclusive access to different picks and in-depth analysis on all of Oakland's stake races. You can earn points for cash back for every dollar wagered and free past performances and access to valuable handicapping selections to help you win. It's like a tip sheet built in. It's the Oakland Anywhere app. Get ready for the Classic season that begins now and runs through May at Oakland. It all begins this Friday. We'll talk more about it later in the week, but get the Oakland Anywhere app. Promo code RUSH26.
All right, we bring in our buddy Tom Murphy, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Tom writes with Whole Hog Sports of the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, you were being brought in under the music from David Oakey. I don't know if you caught the Arkansas defensive lineman's video, but I can't tell who his teammate was, but they were playing the drums and the guitar outside in the snow. What have you done in the snow these last couple days, if anything?
I've walked around in the neighborhood a little bit just to get out to stretch my legs, and shoveled just a little, but not a whole lot, man. No, I haven't heard the Okie song, but it sounds pretty good. It sounds kind of country.
I thought he did it. I thought he did a good job. I caught that on social media this morning. It's like, hey man, he's pretty good. He's a good football player and apparently a good guitarist. So I couldn't tell if he was on the guitar or drums, but either way, it was a good tandem. Tom, we were discussing your colleague Christina Long's piece in Whole Hog Sports a little bit earlier about the finances, whether it's the Razorback Foundation, ticket sales, and athletics department overall. Any big takeaways from her work, just on where Arkansas athletics is right now?
Yeah, it was a good piece, pretty detailed, and good job by Christina. I think my biggest takeaway is that it seems to me like the giving is up, and that the revenues were up. So now it's a matter of how can this be applied to football, and to try to put a better product on the field. Some of the numbers are astounding. I mean, obviously we've known for years and years that football and men's basketball were the really only the two money earners working in the black on campus, and but men's basketball spent a whole lot more money this past year, and of course they qualified for the postseason, so there was postseason travel and things like that. But I don't know, just overall, that's Arkansas is certainly one of the bigger schools in terms of generating revenue, and in Arkansas's case, they give back a lot to the university.
Yeah. Tom, I just think to put it in perspective, it's interesting that, sports that we know will never make money, I don't think we all realize how much they cost. Like I think his women's tennis was over $1 million in expenses, brought in $82 of revenue. Men's golf brought in like $160 of revenue, cost 7 figures to operate. That's why football has to make more than $30 million a year. I mean, we look at the $29 million net from the previous fiscal year. The reality is to compete in the SEC and to be where you want and to support all the other things you got to have on campus, it puts a lot of pressure on two sports.
Yeah, it really does, and it's been that way. But the folks at Arkansas understand this, and I just think back to the last football season, the word close, but that describes Arkansas in the last couple of decades. I mean, honestly, since they joined the SEC, their record in one-score games is abysmal, and before that, it was roughly 500. And so the ability to close out close games is something that, we need to see that from Ryan Silverfield, because it was obviously when you factor in turnover margin and, well, mainly turnover margin, it's the biggest thing that impacted the reason they couldn't pull out close games.
Yeah, maybe you'd need to sit down and do similar research or read stories like Christina's that were done for other schools. But based on the reading of those numbers and looking through that report, do you believe what Hunter Yurchek's been telling us, that we're in the middle of the pack and able to compete to the middle to the top half in this league, particularly in football?
Well, that's a good question, and you obviously would have to see the fiscals on all those other schools and dive through those numbers to be able to ascertain that. Maybe he was working with 2024, 25 numbers that would put them in the middle, and who knows what increases the schools have had. But also the middle of the pack is a broad term. There's super big spenders out there like A&M and Georgia, Florida. LSU spend a ton of money and generate a lot of revenue, and Alabama's the same. So if you're in that pack with the Auburns and and Texas spends a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
So really the arms race will never cease in this conference, and just trying to keep up with the pack is a difficult thing.
Tom Murphy with us, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, shifting gears to basketball, you got one tonight in Norman. Teams lost 6 straight. Then the big ones at home on Saturday against the Wildcats. You're tied for second right now in the SEC. What are the odds Arkansas can win the regular season, in your opinion, based on their remaining schedule?
We haven't seen enough good road performances from this team to be confident, in my opinion, that they can win the league. Their road performances against Auburn and Georgia, I mean, they got whipped pretty good. And, Ole Miss, it was early in the season, and Ole Miss got some big road wins after that, but it's a nice win. Arkansas has not lost at home, which, if you saw my SEC report today, Arkansas and A&M are the only teams in the conference that have not lost a home game yet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep that up and then snag some on the road. To me, it's a dangerous game because, like you said, Oklahoma's lost 5 in a row. Heartbreaker, just total heartbreaker for them against Missouri. On Saturday, basically had it won in regulation, gave up a 3-pointer at the buzzer, and then had a lead in overtime and lost at the buzzer. So, they're going to be aching to get it back. Oklahoma's won 3 of the last 4 in the series, including last year in Fayetteville. So on the get-back level, you'd think the Razorbacks would be motivated. To me, it's just about the attitude, how gritty, how much of a rebounding team you're going to be to have a chance to beat Oklahoma.
One of those road games in a few weeks is going to be in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you caught the latest on Charles Bediako. The NCAA, I guess, wasn't able to get down there today because of the weather. She's got 10 more days to play. What do you think ultimately is going to play out? I mean, is he going to play the rest of the season? Or are they going to – I know they lost on Saturday, but what do you think shakes out with this dilemma, Tom?
It's a great question, and I know the NCAA has filed for a change of venue, so it's not going to be heard, or possibly not be heard from the judge who gave the temporary restraining order, and I think he was slated to hear the NCAA arguments. So I think it's up for grabs. You're seeing, like, for instance, Dennis Gates at Missouri came out yesterday, and I think the majority of coaches do not want to see Bediako reinstated with eligibility, but Dennis Gates was like, I'm for all for player movement and all this kind of stuff, but you've got to put the rules in place. And right now it just seems like it's shaky and gray areas, and that's, I think, what disturbs so many in college athletics. And, Jay Billis, always a champion for player rights. Sounded to me like on the Saturday, game day deal, maybe he was in favor of Bediako receiving his eligibility, but it's the fact that the rules aren't hard and fast. Seth Greenberg argued the other side, which I think would be a huge majority of coaches, that how can a guy, when you make the decision to sign a 2-way contract, which is basically, it's a professional contract, you have given up the ability to return to amateur status. And yes, I know players are receiving money through NIL, but you made that decision in 2023, Charles Bediako, but now you want to rescind that decision. there's got to be a hard line in the sand. I think that's what the NCAA would argue, is that he signed the professional contract.
So let me just take the other side of it with 2 points real quick, just for the sake of conversation. Why is it that you can play professionally in other countries and still be allowed to come play NCAA, play for, in an NCAA sanctioned event? And why is it in baseball? I know it's a different sport. We'll let a high school kid be drafted in the Major League Baseball process and then decide what they want to do, whether they enroll in August in school or not. So if you want to sit here and argue that basketball has some different rules that the NCAA allows in other sports, or allows players from other parts of the world to come here and play college basketball after playing professionally, that seems to give a leg to stand on for the argument that those that are following the path of Bediako should be allowed to do this.
Absolutely on the money, and that's part of the shifting sands that we're dealing with here.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard a lot of the coaches point out how the rules apply to international players versus American players, so that's part of this equation for sure. And someone along the way, it might have been Billis, might have been someone else, said they think the NCAA kind of likes the chaos, and maybe that had to do with the fact that the college football playoff expansion hasn't happened, and they're still dealing with that chaos. But that the NCAA likes it because it draws attention and what have you. I don't know if that's true, but I do think it's time to have a firm set of rules that if you declare pro, and also I like the John Calipari model, which is your high school eligibility ends. That means your college eligibility begins, and 5 years later, you're done. It doesn't matter what route you've taken, and that's one way to get some order to all this. And then it's the how much did you venture your foot into the professional ranks and that kind of thing. But it would be a great start to say that their clock begins. That's why I did not like the Diego Pavia ruling. I'll be opposed to that till the end. And so I would not like to see Bediako reinstated, but it wouldn't shock me in the least if he does gain the eligibility.
Speaking of Diego Pavia, did you see he's listed at just 5'9"? Not even. They did that at the Senior Bowl, I guess. That's the official height of, and I almost that makes it more impressive what he was able to do in the SEC this season, because now you see so many quarterbacks 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", but he was listed at 6 feet all season, not even 5'10", Tom.
No doubt. And, if Indiana hadn't been out there, I think the Vanderbilt story might have been the best in college football, but Indiana clearly exceeded that. I did see that. And back when I worked in Mobile, or for the Mobile Register, I would go to these Senior Bowl weigh-ins. And these guys, it's like a boxing weigh-in. You go up there with basically your underpants on, and you get weighed, and you stick your arms out, and you get measured, and it is very clinical. And all these heights that you've seen over the years on college football rosters get exposed, because I think he'd been listed at 6 feet, and everyone knew he wasn't. Arkansas does the same thing. But, yeah, the fact that Pavia – look, as much as I didn't want him to play this year, I can respect that a 5'9" and 3/4 dude went out there and played as well as he did, beat Alabama 2 years ago, and had Vanderbilt, one of the talks of the SEC this year. It's an incredible story.
Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always. We appreciate you joining us.
You bet. See you.
All right, Tom Murphy with us. It's brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Few things in life are more important than showing up, whether you're showing up for family, friends, or teammates. Hey, it doesn't hurt to always bring along a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. This is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, and courtesy of Beef, it's whatsfordinner.com.
Oklahoma doing something special for their fans tonight when the Razorbacks are in town. We'll tell you what it is in our SEC update when we come back.
Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Matt.
This is Raleigh.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. A famous coach once said there's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there's only one Razorback.
And there's only one Razorback store that's owned by a family of University of Arkansas alums.
And that's us, the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
The largest Razorback store south of the North Pole. Y'all know why seagulls fly over the sea and not the bay?
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has so much Lutz, it's starting to go to people's heads. I'm the Lutzierge.
Which is the mini taco salad fork?
Here to help them cope. So when you try the mini taco salad, beefy potato loaded griller, or chips and nacho supreme dip, enjoy the Lutz. Just don't let it go to your head.
Yeah, bring the car around.
You know there's no valet.
Then who's getting the car?
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu. 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
There's nothing better than hitting a bet unless your whole crew hits it with you. That's what MyBookie's all about. Are you ready for the next 2 weeks of the NFL? We're hooking you up with 2 can't-lose locks of season. Bet up to $10 per lock and double your money when they hit. Select the Lock of Season tab in the sportsbook. Wager up to $10 per lock. Double your money on 4 bets that can't lose. Don't forget about the Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie now, punch in code HOGS, and get your first bet covered up to $500. If you don't hit on the first bet, just use your Bet Back bonus token and run it back. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty.
You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
52 or 253 or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
That's why having you here in Bud Walton. Can any of you come with us to Oklahoma?
It's close.
Yeah, it's far. I bet.
It's only about 240 miles away, campus to campus. And if you come to Oklahoma, you can take advantage of fan appreciation. Free admission, I'm guessing, just for Sooner fans. Free pizza for the students, $2 beers, sodas, and popcorn. You haven't played them in football yet, Tommy? I know you played them in basketball in Tulsa prior to them joining the SEC. I'm ready to go to Norman for a football game.
Yeah,
just to see these guys go at each other.
I've been to Norman. It's been years, but went over there for an Alabama game at Oklahoma 20-plus years ago, and it was fantastic then. They've expanded their stadium, but Lloyd Noble, not so much. It took over the spot for the Hump Dump, and it is the worst basketball facility in the conference. And hopefully they'll do something to improve that, but it's probably going to take some winning before they can do that.
Yeah, Oklahoma's lost 6 straight. They are
1-6 in the league.
Yeah, a basketball team that's desperately looking for a win. Hopefully you're not on the reciprocal end of that tonight, just being you show up. And Arkansas hadn't been great on the road this year. You had the win in Oxford, which was great, but it'll be a similar situation. There won't be a lot of Oklahoma fans there. There's a Thunder game later on tonight as well. A lot of Oklahoma people would probably rather go to that than this.
I saw where it's fan appreciation night for Oklahoma. So
yeah,
like free people are getting in for free, and there's $2 drinks and beer and all kinds.
It seems like I've heard that before.
So they're trying to get people there for this game.
Seems like I heard that recently.
When did you hear that?
Like maybe 45 seconds ago.
45 seconds.
Wow. I totally.
It's okay. You were working on something else. You're good. We all do that, Christian. I did it. I did it last week.
I figured it might have slipped through the cracks.
That's okay.
No,
Tommy
we reinforced it.
Yeah, it just reinforced it. That's okay. You haven't played here in 15 years. Z was talking about it. I listened to Z on the what you call not the tracks. What do you call not roadways when you land a plane? Why can't I think of
the runway?
The runway. Thank you. When I listened to Z, he hadn't played here since I guess Anderson was the head coach, I believe. So he got that set up, and hopefully Arkansas takes it to him later on tonight at 6:00.
I was a little surprised. I was told yesterday that the team flew over. The staff or a lot of support staff and people bussed over following practice yesterday. So I was really surprised to hear that I don't think it had to do with conditions. I think this was the plan it had been under for a while. But by the time you get to Drake, you take off, you get there, you get to your hotel. I wonder how much actual time you saved.
Well, speaking of buses, do we have a bus update on LSU and Polk County?
Well, Tennessee had a problem too. Did you see Tennessee's tractor trailer had it didn't say where, but it looked like one of those interchanges out towards past 630 in that area in Little Rock. But Tennessee was traveling through the state and they had a problem.
So you had one Tennessee coming back from Tuscaloosa, and
Arkansas roads are 2-0 against SEC buses and tractor trailers.
Oh, man. I've seen, I saw people, I don't know how many different vehicles you saw stuck at any point this weekend, or maybe even driving in this
I haven't seen a lot, but I haven't traveled. I mean, I've went from the house to here, more or less. Haven't really been anywhere else.
I'm going to see our buddies James and Robert Teague at the Teague Law Firm after this. I'm a little worried. I'm going to drive really slow because I don't want to. Oh,
you're going to be that guy, huh? Driving really slow, probably get in the left lane too, won't you?
Why would I get in the left lane?
So you can
when I'm going slow.
I think 49, the right lane, is fairly clear.
Okay.
From what I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have to drive really slow.
I'm going to
Just
drive.
be really careful. Don't be talking on the phone while you're trying to drive.
Well, that's just not going to happen. I will be talking on the phone while
Oh,
I'm
you
driving.
will be?
Yes, 100%. That's hands free, of course. It's legal. I'm not going to do any illegal.
Need your full focus.
Illegal in a vehicle. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about that. Still regretting not going to this game against LSU this weekend.
I'd like to go to this game tonight. If the roads weren't like they are, I could be talked into going and even getting back late. I mean, I heard earlier it's Fan Appreciation Night. Have y'all heard about this? Have y'all heard about this?
Multiple times.
Cheap beer.
Brendan says.
Did y'all hear anything about free pizza?
Yeah, what kind of pizza? Oklahoma
with cheese.
Brendan says. Welcome to the show. Text out of the 479 says that.
What about a hot dog? Can I get a hot dog at a discount?
Like they're doing this for the Arkansas game.
What was it? $2? Was it beer?
Cheap soda? Yeah. Let's drive 3 hours. Get us a free soda or whatever.
Beer, soda, and popcorn. Unfortunately, the hot dogs will cost you $10.
Really?
I don't know if they actually will, but I'm going to guess that they maybe it's one of those situations where they charge you really cheap for certain items and then they hike up the prices on the other stuff in Norman.
All right, that is our SEC update this morning. It is brought to you by Arts Barbecue, Burgers, and more. Back at it. Just checked in with Wade and the crew. Going to open today for lunch at 11. Going to close at 5. So you've got about 6 hours today to, if you've been really wanting some Arts the last few days, they're going to be at it today. So comfort food. Burgers. Their bacon cheeseburger is good as it. Now, have you had their green chili burger where they take the poblano pepper, put on it?
Like one of the few burgers I haven't had.
You need to try that one. It is really good. If you like, like a chili Relano or something like that, that's kind of got that flair to it. It's not like a hot pepper. It's going to burn you out. Nothing like that. Just got a really good roasted flavor to it. So I think it'd be a great day for burgers. And here's the thing I've kind of shifted to on the side over there. If you do fries and onion rings, you do half and half. You get like 2 or 3 onion rings and a little bit of fries, and it's perfect to go with it. So try out some Arts. If all that sounds good, now I probably need to go eat a salad. Their chef salad's great because they smoke the turkey and the ham that go on it. I'll probably go salad if I go, but I like to talk about burgers, fries, and rings because at least it still makes me feel connected to that. So try it out. Arts Barbecue, 11 to 5 today at Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
Which map application do you use when going from point A to point B on a road? Because I am a Waze long road trip guy. Short, intermediate trips is going to be Google Maps.
Yeah,
and I never use Apple Maps unless it is sent to me where it is a link directly from Apple Maps.
I'm sorry. I use Apple Maps, and then, like I said, Waze, if I'm going anywhere, because it tells you where the cops are hiding out. So if I'm going anywhere of any distance, but yeah, I mean, even sometimes where I know where I'm going, I'll put Waze on just because it's going to alert you to wrecks. If you need to take a detour, even like if you're driving to Dallas, well, I know how to get where I'm going. But if there's a wreck 30 miles ahead, you need to get off the road and save time. That's what I like about Waze.
We're getting multiple texts. If you're driving today, I-49, the roads are clear like I am. So I'm happy about that. It's wild. Like some places, and there are like the different cities are going to taking care of the most driven roads, try and hit those first. But then you look up and down some roads that aren't necessarily as occupied and as driven on as much, and they're perfectly clear, and then others that you think would be clear aren't. It's weird. Like
you stay on interstates, and if you stay on the state highways, if you stay on the state roads and the 4-lane roads as much as you can. I saw a breakdown with RDOT. They classify them as A, B, and C roads.
Mm-hmm.
So the A roads, which would be your 49 and your 40, they're gonna, those type of roads, probably 412. They're going to get work more. They're going to get work earlier. They're going to get work more often because they have the highest traffic rates. Your B roads, and then your C roads may not even seen a plow yet, and they're going to work on getting those. So your really rural areas, that's where you need to be the most careful. So I think from what I'm seeing and seeing some of the RDOT cams and stuff that the news has put up,
Mm-hmm.
I think at least one lane is really passable between Alma and Fayette, or Alma and Northwest Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. Tonight, Arkansas is obviously playing Oklahoma. Fan appreciation night, if you hadn't heard. The other two games are Missouri and Alabama. The game in Tuscaloosa. I know that Tom Murphy was talking about Dennis Gates, Missouri's head coach, talking about just the current confines of eligibility and whatnot. And then Vanderbilt against Kentucky. So you've beaten Vanderbilt already. Kentucky's coming in. Do you want Kentucky to win this game tonight in Nashville prior to their game Saturday?
No.
No?
I just don't want Kentucky to win. I want them to, because when they lose, they kind of tend to stay in a funk for a little bit.
Well, I just think it's hard to win 2 in a row in this league, and I think I don't want to say it's hard to lose 2 in a row because there's teams that have done it a lot. But I think when you got a quality team, this league's got so much parity right now. I just soon a team come in here off a win.
5 straight. Because I was going back and forth.
Hey,
You're
going to roll a 7 at some point. So, yeah. Fayetteville's a hard place to play.
It'd be 6 straight if they win, I think.
Yeah, well, if they win tonight, it'd be 5, and then if they beat Arkansas, Bud Walton, it'd be 6. I think that's a setup. I was just kind of thinking about like with the games tonight, and you're tied with Florida and Kentucky right now for second place in the SEC, and A&M is on top currently. They come to Bud Walton later on this season. It's the only game that you play the Aggies. That's a Wednesday night game later on in February, if I remember that correctly. So there's still that opportunity to either have that possession of first place or at least tied for it after this weekend. Hopefully Arkansas is going to be there for that. I know we've just got. I hope this team doesn't overlook. And TB was kind of talking about it Saturday.
I mean, all these games are hard. I think Florida just lost. That just goes to show any team can lose any night. It doesn't matter where you play at. Every team in the SEC can play. It's going to be physical every night. So, we just got to come out every night ready to play. In the first half, we didn't do it, and we picked it up in the second. So.
This would be a game that you were talking about a little bit earlier that you'd like to see Trevin break out. Oklahoma's not a great basketball team. You got to have a lot of guys, honestly, break out during this game, whether it's Darius. You kind of know what you're going to get from Darius. I kind of hope that he tries to spread the wealth a little bit tonight. Get Carter involved early, get TB involved early, see if he can get some lobs to Nick Pringle. I don't think Darius has to have 35 for you to win tonight. I kind of hope that his initial thought is, hey, man, I want to see if I can get as many as my teammates going as possible against the Sooners.
Well, and pass the ball. How many times we heard that from Calipari in the last week or so? Pass the ball. Too much dribbling at times, and he wants the passes that open up a lane and create a cut or create an assist. So hopefully this is a good passing team tonight when they get to Norman.
They had 18 assists in the last game, and really,
yeah, they've been passing the ball.
Yeah, that hasn't been. I don't think like selfishness. That at times, I think Cal was talking about some shots that both he and Malik Thomas were taking that as freshmen they were just knucklehead shots, but he started to get in a rhythm a little bit, and you're starting to see these guys play and I say starting to, this team plays as a team, and they just get in fast break. It's so fun to watch them because it always seems like some guys will just absolutely take it to the rim no matter what, but these guys are very willing passers when they get out on the run.
Yeah, so let's see how it is. It's your free. I mean, anybody else like me where you go home and you bought all these groceries and these snacks and everything your family wanted for this snowpocalypse, and then you can't even get in your own freezer because it's full of stuff. Yeah. I was digging through my fridge, had some good stuff in there, and I just said, hey, good thing is Walmart delivery can't get to the house right now because of the snow. So, hey, eat out. Found in the freezer with some steaks and some beef sticks and stuff from Clampett's Country Kitchen. And you talk about a nice surprise when you dig in right now to your freezer. I think we're probably all guilty of losing stuff in the freezer. And it was a delight to find some of those beef summer sausage sticks that they do from Clampett's Country Kitchen. You might want to get by there if your freezer's getting a little thin. They've got meat bundles and all sorts of stuff. And the thing I personally like the most is their beef jerky, variety of flavors. We all got some of those beef sticks, the smaller snack size ones, for the holidays, and they were awesome as well. They got everything you need. Clampett's Country Kitchen, Highway 7 between Hot Springs Village and Jessieville. Tell our buddies there at Clampett's that we'll see you soon. Tell Joey we said hi, and go see him at Clampett's Country Kitchen on Highway 7 between Hot Springs Village and Jessieville.
Have either of you guys seen what Deion Sanders is doing when players disobey or break? So
I like it. If you break team rules or you're late to meetings, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, late to practice, $500 fine. No show at practice, $2,500. Late to a meeting or film session, $400 fine. No show or meeting to a film session, $2,000. Basically, it's just a bunch of fines if kids aren't doing what they're supposed to do. I don't know why this isn't, and maybe it is, and it's just not as public. Maybe some of these coaches are keeping this in-house in the locker room, as they like to say. But I would think with players making money, if you want to be treated like a grown-up, then you're going to get the repercussions like a grown-up, right? Is that
you can't? Well, yeah, I agree with that, and that's the way it should be. But there's going to be these are just kids. There's going to be people that make that art, but I'm in total agreement with this. You show up late, you got to pay the price when you're being paid the way these guys are being paid handsomely. This will get them ready for the NFL for the ones that get that chance, because this is exactly what happens at the next level. It's what doesn't happen enough times in life to get people prepared for work, because what happens in a lot of situations, not around here, but in a lot of situations, you're late for work, you get written up. You're late enough times, you get called in. You're doing enough time, 4, 5, 6 times where you're continually late, you get fired. So that's the way it works in the real world.
Isn't it your job to enforce that, though?
You might be okay there, but I mean,
might. Okay.
Be some others that but
crack the whip, man. Need some yelling around here. Getting too lethargic like Arkansas football. We need some yelling and screaming. I'll
see you right after the show then. You want some yelling? I got plenty to yell about. Yeah, but I mean, I have no problem. I wish this would become universal, where coaches would now
start a trend, baby. Start it here.
Well, I'm not the trendsetter. I mean, Deion Sanders is the trendsetter.
Then
I'm just saying, in college sports with Silverfield, or pick out any, Kalen DeBoer. Just pick out a coach. Lane Kiffin. You think Lane Kiffin's going to do this? Not publicly. Does this help or hurt recruiting for Colorado?
I don't know. That was kind of when I saw that. That's what I was thinking. It's like, do kids really want more?
Some players do want this because they're like us. They show up on time. They do their job. They stay in their lane and support their team. And it's frustrating to A players to watch. When you're doing your part, it's frustrating to watch others on the team.
Well, on that subject, I was listening to the Coaches in the Mouth pod. Drake Lindsay is their latest guest, and Drake was talking about, like, you got some wide receivers that are making $200,000 more than the other, and the guy that's being paid less is performing way better. Mm-hmm. And so you got this strife in the locker room. He didn't name an individual by name, but I was like, man, as a quarterback having to like balance that out, or as a coach, it's like, because that's what's happening. Like apparently what happened with Ole Miss is you got these kids coming into Oxford that are making way more than the ones that were already on campus. That ticked the current Ole Miss players off. That's why some of them left for Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Hey, we were talking earlier with Bruce Stanton in the last hour about fishing at the White River and staying at Gaston's right now. I'm telling you, big browns. I've seen some pictures from the White River the last few days. Massive browns and big rainbows are being caught. And it's a great time to fish. Winter fishing, I know, you got to bundle up a little bit more. You got to layer up. Last few days might seem like it's unbearable, but this is where some of the great fishing and the great results are being had, is this time of the year. Gaston's is the place to call home base. They've got great guides that can show you a wonderful time on the White River. Even in these conditions, the fishing is still outstanding. So call now and ask about winter rates that are in effect at Gaston's. 40% off when you stay there. 870-431-5202 is their number. Restaurant reopens here this weekend for the end of the month, so you can enjoy all the great meals and everything at Gaston's. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. Since 1946, no pressure, no hassle, just tradition. The celebration starts now.
2026 is looking bright at Rath Auto Resources. Celebrate by driving away in one of our road-ready certified pre-owned cars, reconditioned and backed by a comprehensive warranty. With our award-winning customer service, non-commissioned sales team, and painless pricing, we take the hassle out of the car buying experience, so you can focus on more important things, like that new gym membership, quitting smoking, or that other thing. Ring in the new year with a new ride and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith. RathAutoFortSmith.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hotline, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at KeepArkansasBeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Anybody interested in grabbing a couple of burgers? Those are good burgers, brother. How's your burger? My God.
This is CJ's Trivia Tuesday, presented by CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers in Fayetteville and Russellville.
I got the shakes that'll make you quit. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that'll...
When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best.
All right, we will be taking our CJ's Trivia Tuesday winner via text today on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Oftentimes when we do these, I reference the answer and the question earlier in the show, talking about Darius Acuff and what he's accomplished thus far. Who is the highest player drafted in the NBA as an Arkansas basketball player, and what team did he go to? If you want to toss in the year, give you a little bonus as well. 877-377-6963, the highest player drafted. Anthony Black was close in 2023.
Was it Larry Satchel?
It's not Larry Satchel.
It's not Larry Satchel.
No, it was not Larry
Just
Satchel.
checking.
So, and again, for a $25 CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers gift card, best burgers, best fries, best shakes in all of Arkansas, you're going to find it at Keith Wilson's places at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, both in Russellville and in Fayetteville. Nate Bentonville, correct. Got a couple responses to this. It is not Weston Harrison, Oliver Miller to the Grizzlies. Nate was the first one to answer this. It was Sidney Moncrief, picked 5th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks in 1979. That was an awesome draft. Think about who else.
Think Darius can go 5th or higher?
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking. So he'll be up there. Don't know where he's going to end up, but he'll be close. Maybe AB close. Halftime's coming up next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Big C.
We realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Harry Douglas here, and the holidays are rolling in, and if men in your life are struggling with their holiday wish list, tell them to add Manscaped to make gift giving easy and completely stress-free this year. From the beard hedger to the lawnmower trimmer, Manscaped's precision tools keep you looking sharp, feeling confident, and ready for every event and celebration. Right now at Target, get 20% off on the Handyman Shaver, Beard Hedger, and the Chairman Plus Essentials Kit, a must-have for a smooth face shave.